Okay, today we are going to install a Ring floodlight camera to an existing junction box that I have right up here. I'm going to replace that light with this Ring floodlight camera. So, kind of cool thing about the Ring, when you unpackage it, everything is all in there. Very simple to use instructions are in the box here that explain exactly what to do and how to do it. And they also give you, in case you don't have any tools, they give you a little screwdriver that you're going to be able to use here as well. Should be known that I am not a licensed electrician, but this should be a simple DIY for any homeowner to be able to do. So, first thing that we need to do is go ahead and remove the existing light fixture up here. Each one is going to be a little bit different, but this one is mine. They should be fairly similar. Always make sure to turn off the power to the junction box so you don't have any hot wires. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this. What it is just a simple screw that's in here. The whole thing should then go ahead and come out. This is apparently the longest screw in history. Almost there. So as you can see, this just pops all the way back out like this, and then we're just going to go ahead and disconnect the wires from in here. Again, your black is always going to be your hot wire, and we'll just disconnect that first. The white will be your neutral. And of course, the green or bare wire in here will be your ground. Okay, simple enough. Let's just went ahead, and now we're ready to go ahead and put the floodlight brackets on. What it does ask you to do in there is go ahead and you're going to remove any existing mounting plates here, and you're going to put the one that's provided with the Ring camera on there. So I'm going to go ahead and get this bracket taken off. It's just two simple screws that screws into the junction box here. I'm going to just take that off, and we'll replace it with the one that was supplied with the Ring camera. Alright, so I got the plate off here that was initially sitting up inside like this. I'll be replacing it with the one that came with the Ring camera. And this is what it looks like here, and you want to make sure that it does have a front and back, so it's clearly labeled front. So I'm going to go ahead and mount that right on here, just like so. But the genius that went ahead and did the initial job. I'm not the first homeowner of this, but they did the initial job of that. They went ahead and used what looks like drywall screws, of course, to go ahead and mount that pass bracket. But certainly I'm not going to use those again. So what in the Ring package comes this entire plethora of screws in here. Depending on the size of your junction box and the screw holes, you'll be able to use whichever size fits. So this, for me, I found the one that fits for me here, so I'm going to go ahead and put these back in and mount that the Ring mounting plate here. Something that I usually do is I use just a power drill instead of the screwdriver, just because it's, well, a hell of a lot easier. So go ahead and mount these in. Sorry, just need to find the other screw here. And what you can do here, sometimes the cutout isn't exactly perfect, so you want to make sure that the entire bracket here sits underneath the this outside bezel. Okay, so that's nice and secure there. Alright, now we'll go ahead and grab the mounting plate or the mount piece from the back of the Ring camera. So the Ring camera looks like this here, and then this is the plate that's going to go ahead and mount right onto that mounting plate that we just went ahead and put on there. So I had to go and find the appropriate screw, because there's a screw and it's just held by this one screw here going into the middle of this mounting plate, right into the middle of the one that we just put on the junction box here. So you'll have to make sure that it's directional here. So the up is right here, making sure that that stays up, so it should mount flush right like this. Before we do that though, before we mount it, we're gonna have to take all the wires and feed it through this top hole.
How's your YouTube video going?
And always making sure that this is going to be perfectly centered. We're going to find, or perfectly level, we're going to find the reason for that here in just a minute. For this one, I'm just going to use hand tightening here with a manual screwdriver. Don't want to use the drill on this one, just because since this is plastic, it could get a little bit too much torque, and we don't want to break this housing here. So the Ring camera is going to have kind of a cool feature here, and make things a lot easier to go ahead and get everything hung up. So on the back of this camera, we've got this little strap here, The reason that we want to make sure that this is up is because this strap is going to go ahead and hang right on this little hook here. So it's going to make things a heck of a lot easier for you to be able to connect these wires without having to try to balance everything and all that kind of sort of stuff. So we'll, but you want to make sure that you're going to orient the camera based on where you're going. Now I've got a wall mount, so I'm going to take the camera, bring it down, and then you can go ahead and spin the lights and the camera itself. Spin it to where you need it to go. So for me, I'm going to do something kind of like this, just because it's wall mounted. If you have eave mounted, it's going to be kind of up like this, but wall mount, this thing spins pretty freely. And there is also a little bit of a little locking screw here to be able to tighten that down. We're going to go ahead and do that later when I make the adjustments to the view that I want to have happen. So for right now, we're just going to go ahead and take the wires on the back of the Ring camera, try to lay those out. Then the little strap here, we're going to go ahead, hook that onto the hook of the mounting plate. So it's going to make things super easy. I can just have it hang here while I go ahead and connect the wires together, like so. When you're connecting the wires, it'll be black to black, white to white, green to the bare wire, which is the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and use the nuts that came with the Ring camera to go ahead and connect all of them together here.
Are you on pause?
So it'll just be okay. So as I was kind of looking at this white wire, for some reason whoever installed it first got a little bit of a nick in here, so you can see the actual bare wire right up here. So I just grabbed a piece of electrical tape. I'm just going to wrap that around because we don't want it touching any other metal pieces, as it might shift or anything like that. So just tape that quick and make sure that I'm not going to have any problems down the road. Right now we're ready and set to go ahead and connect the 3 wires. So again, white to white, black to black, green to bare. I like to twist the stranded wire that comes on makes things just a heck of a lot easier to go ahead and connect the wires to the solid copper wire that's already coming from the home. If you've never done these before, they're just simple twist on. You just screw them on with your hand. There's a whole bunch of different types of connectors you can get. I've got some that you can just slide in these little clips that come down. I think they're, can't remember who they're made by, but they're actually a pretty nice thing. You just have to make sure that they're rated for outdoor use. But these, for this simple job, these will work just fine. Alright, so these are all nice and tight. Now you're going to want to make sure that all of these get tucked back into this junction box here, which is where they were the first when I pulled them out. But so you just go ahead, bend it, and you just tuck them back in the box here. Then you hope that you just hope that they don't come loose as you're monkeying around with them or anything like that. them back in there. Then from here, you'll just take the entire camera itself and you'll slide it over. You'll see the two posts that are right here. Those are going to align with these two holes on the camera itself. So then we're just going to go ahead and slide this right on, making sure we line up the holes correctly. Slides on just like that. Now there are couple of these little nuts that come with. This is how you're going to go ahead and secure the Ring camera to these little posts that you just slid on here. And all they do is they just simply screw on. Just like so. And you are completely done. You want to go ahead then and turn on the breaker again to your, and then obviously the power if it's controlled by a switch, and then you should be good to go with your setup according to the instructions in the Ring manual. So feel free to comment below on anything that I may have done wrong from all you electricians out there, but otherwise this should go ahead and it's solid and secure. Thanks for watching.